Hey there, YouTubers. This is Luis from On-Site Towing and Recovery in Middletown, New York. So, as an owner-operator, one of the challenges that I faced early on was billing, doing motor club billing. I used to do everything by hand. I would calculate the mileage, go on Google Maps, the distances, and all that fun stuff. And it was very, very time-consuming. At the time, I really couldn't afford, a Beacon software or Madi towing related applications. They were pretty pricey. So I did some research and I ended up finding Towbooks. And I've been using Towbook for the last couple years or so, and it has helped me minimize the amount of time that I need to be behind a computer doing billing. One thing too that I've noticed since I have signed up with Towbooks and the motor club billing is that I have less errors. Everything is entered into the computer, into the system. The rates, even my retail rates are entered in there. So it made it really easy to just submit stuff without having to be worried about errors or an adjustment being made here or an invoice being sent to audit. The nice thing about Towbook is that you can integrate all the motor clubs out there. I know a bunch of motor clubs have their own applications and stuff, and that can be a pain in the butt logging in and out of each one. It can be a hassle for drivers. So I like how Towbook simplifies it. One thing that's nice about Towbook too is before I used to just call my driver up and say, listen, you need to go here and here, this is the vehicle, go get it. Or I used to write it on a post-it note, hand it to him, and it was, it was just a pain in the butt. So Towbook is nice because I could actually send the call to their phone. Even with if there's a messages, special instructions, I can send that all to their phone. They accept it. They can update statuses, whether they're en route, if they're on scene, if they're towing, if it's been completed. Those are all valuable things. It prevents me from having to get on the phone and say, hey, where are you? What are you doing right now? Are you towing? Are you hooked? So that's nice. The app on the driver's end also allows you to take signatures right on the screen of the phone. They can just signature. There's a damage waiver on there. And it also allows the driver to take pictures, pre-existing damages, and it all ends up going to my desktop application, and it gets saved. So if there's some kind of damage claim and we've got the pictures taken, I can just go back and say, look, that was already there. So my drivers take before and after pictures. That is a huge thing with Towbook. The other thing I like about Towbook, it cut out on paperwork, on invoices. My drivers don't have the best penmanship, so it's nice that the invoice is all digital. Most of my customers and people I come across have emails, so we just end up emailing them to them because those invoices are expensive. It's like $200 for a 500 pack. And what I have found is they get dropped, they get wet, they get grease marks over them, and it ends up going to waste. So you actually do away with the paper invoices. One thing too that is huge with Towbook is their customer service is fantastic. I've even put them to the test before I signed up just to kind of see if they really do have 24-hour tech support, and they do, and that is huge. And I really haven't had to call them much. I think in the last 2 years I've called them twice for minor issues or questions, and they were quick to answer it. They even have a live chat too, which is helpful if you can't get on the phone. So I highly recommend Towbook if you value your time. It's been a great tool for us. It's very easy to use. At first, it can be a little bit confusing, but once you start getting your stuff entered into the system, it just becomes, it's very smooth going. So Towbook is a great tool. I recommend all you towers out there using it. Even if you're just an owner-operator, if you want to cut down on that billing, use it. You know, if you got a fleet of 20, 30 trucks, you know, use it. I'm going to show you a video of what it looks like on my screen, and I'm also going to show you, we actually just integrated it with TomTom. And we're still kind of learning the ropes with that. TomTom has a lot of features that we're not familiar with, so we're still giving that we're still working on that, all right? And this is Luis from On-Site Towing, and I'm going to post that clip up right now. All right, so here's my what my Towbook screen looks like on my end, and it's pretty similar on the driver's app. And you can see here we got current, waiting, active. You know, if you've got a guy that's already out on the call, you know, it'll highlight that. If you've got one that hasn't been dispatched there, it would go to that. And we've got an active, which is, you know, if they're towing or anything like that. And then we got completed. You can schedule calls, you can cancel. You know, this category here be for the calls that you canceled. We recently just switched ours to, you know, we went from budget GPS to TomTom. So now our GPSs are integrated with the map here in Towbook. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier. I don't have to be going into another window or anything for a different GPS system. So when I send the calls to my driver, so now with the TomTom integration, it actually goes to this unit here in the truck. What's nice about this unit too, you know, it cuts down on the drivers having to reach for their phone, and I could actually send my drivers messages through here, and it will read it to them out of the TomTom, which is nice. They could even respond to the TomTom and send me messages back, which is a huge plus. You know, one of the biggest things here is trying to keep the drivers off the phone, and it's very hard in this industry considering what we do. So here, you know, you can set up all your accounts. It's just loading. And as you can see, we got, you know, a Gero, scumbags, Allstate, you know, a few of our retail accounts. And you can see their balances here. You can update that stuff. I haven't updated any of it yet. That's why they still got balances there. But you can go to, you know, let's go to Allstate here. And this is like the screen here where you can submit your invoices, and your invoices will pop up here. And you can just hit submit, and it sends it right out, which is great. You can do all types of cool stuff here. Like you can do dispatching reports for the year, for the day, and it'll break it down by, you know, the average call, the average dollar amount, what drivers are taking the call. You know, you could even do commission stuff on this. You know, there's so much you can do on Towbook. It's great. Another thing too is you could actually have your customers, you can send your customers a link, and if you got like a used car dealer that's constantly using you, you could actually send them a link and they can actually schedule tows, and it'll actually come through here, which is nice. That avoids having to be on the phone. Another thing too is the digital dispatching through the motor clubs. So rather than my phone ringing off the hook, which we got right over there, the calls will come through here, and I can digitally accept it. You know, I can click yes, I can click no, I can put my ETA, put a reason why I don't want to accept it, so on and so forth. So, Towbooks, I highly recommend it. I'm a big fan of it. If your time is valuable, spend the money and try it out. You know, I know they've got some free trials. I think it's a 30-day. Don't quote me on that, but it's absolutely worth it. And that's all I got for you. This is Luis from On-Site Towing and Recovery in Middletown, New York. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.